Nierychlo, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. So today's show, we're carrying on in Bordeaux. We're gonna explore Bordeaux a little bit more, but you can see we've got white wine. When you think Bordeaux, typically you think big, robust, earthy red wines with huge ageability, huge potential, all that. They do produce white wine in Bordeaux as well. Quite a significant amount of white wine, and they produce it all over Bordeaux. Now, like I mentioned before, certain regions of Bordeaux, I'll highlight a few for you that do white wine. We've got Graves, which remember is slightly south of the city of Bordeaux. Graves is a major white wine producing area. The gravelly kind of sandy soil there allows for really dry, fairly aromatic white wines. Within Graves, again just south of the city of Bordeaux, there's a region called Pessac-Léognan, or Pessac-Léognan. My French is kind of lacking, but anyway, that area, it's kind of a unique area in Bordeaux. It's one of the very few that can lay claim to saying that it produces exceptional red wine as well as exceptional white wine. So quite a neat area to explore for your reds and your whites. Another area of Bordeaux, and a lesser known area internationally, but within Bordeaux is well accepted, is Entre deux Mers, like I mentioned in the other episode, between two rivers. That triangulated area between the Garonne and the Dordogne. Now, they make huge amounts of white wine there. The thing with Entre deux Mers is you're going to find a lot of value there. Because it's lesser known, keeps their prices down, and they're still making some good stuff. Now, white wines from Bordeaux typically tend to be very crisp, nice acidity, and very full of minerality. A lot of minerality is a very known character for white wines in Bordeaux. They go great with as like an aperitif or served with your aperitifs. Get your mouth watering. Get that crisp acidity in there. Make you crave food. Goes excellent with shellfish, seafood, things like that. Prawns, anything that seafoody, very light white meats. It's what Bordeaux pairs really well with. Now in Bordeaux, white wine. Like I said, there's 5 specific red grape varieties. There's 3 major white grape varieties. There's several others that are used in very small amounts in different areas, but the 3 major white varieties are Sauvignon Blanc, which gives you typically the bright, crisp acidity Bordeaux offers. And you'll find a nice kind of green grassiness to it, or a herbaceousness, kind of that savoriness. That's what Sauvignon Blanc offers. Semillon is the other grape variety. Semillon is kind of the backbone of the white wines in Bordeaux. A lot of Semillon gives you a little bit more ageability, gives you that backbone, gives you the structure, gives you that elegant mouthfeel, gives it more of a creaminess, kind of like a breadiness or a nuttiness, things like that. That's what Semillon offers. Semillon's also a major variety used for sweet wines, like they do in Sauterne, but that's another episode. You'll see that coming up. Another one they use, which tends to be just kind of the extra spice they throw on top in the white Bordeaux blends, is Muscadel. You don't see it often, but you'll see 5–10% max of Muscadel. Muscadel can give it that more floral characteristic. More floral, a little bit more fruity, maybe a bit of tropical fruit, things like that. That's what Muscadel does. But again, it's just kind of that extra spice they'll throw in. So again, white Bordeaux, a blend of major white grape varieties, those 3 in particular. And again, the rest of the planet, you gotta call it white Meritage. I still call it white Bordeaux. Sorry, official people. Anyway, first one I've got with me, first example from Bordeaux. This is a straight Sauvignon Blanc. And again, they do blends of these, they do straights, they do whatever. I can't call it a straight single Chateau Sauvignon Blanc because it's labeled Bordeaux on the bottle. So I'll show you this Bordeaux. It's a 2008 Chartrand Lafleur Sauvignon. There you go. And you see how it says Bordeaux on the bottle down there? When it says that, typically, I mean, a lot of the whites in Bordeaux are labeled like that. They do reds like that as well. But they'll be, as opposed to like a single chateau or a single growing area, it'll be, typically the fruit will be purchased by what they call a négociant, someone who goes there, buys fruit from all over the place, and blends it to make their wine. They'll probably do it all within a certain area. It'd be silly to go that vast all over Bordeaux to bring in Sauvignon, but they'll do within a certain area. They'll get bargain fruit, they'll blend it, and they'll try to make decent wine. Typically, you can find great value in these types of wine. So like it says on that one, Bordeaux on the label, you'll see Bordeaux, Bordeaux Supérieur, and Bordeaux Crémant. These are 3 different classifications that are really outside of the single chateau, or the single region. Like I said, blends of fruit from within Bordeaux, anyway. Kind of the regulation on it. But again, you can find great values in there. So, let's try this one out. It's a straight up Sauvignon. And typically in Bordeaux, they just call it Sauvignon. They don't call it Sauvignon Blanc, but it just means white Sauvignon. Okay. So, now here's the thing with Sauvignon. It's just a very light, faint golden color. You tend to find almost a hint of greenish hue with Sauvignon. Anyway, let's see what this one's offering. Okay, prime example of Bordeaux. Like I said, very minerally. This reminds me it's extremely minerally. There's a lot of mineral coming through. It reminds me so much of, you know when you're on a hike and you are on the beach and you find those really flat rocks and you can break them with your hands, like shale or whatever you want to call it. It reminds me of that. You break it, and if you were to smell it, just kind of that soft, dry, chalky smell. That's kind of the way the mineral comes through on this one. Yeah, or heck, I used to raise chickens. I don't know if you're going to be able to relate to this or not, but you feed chickens dried oyster shells. Now, dried oyster shells helps chickens' eggs to keep the shells, give the shells better strength when they're producing the eggs. This reminds me of dried cracked oyster shells. Very, very minerally. Again, with that minerally, a little bit of kind of like lemon rind. Something almost like a tart, citrusy play. That's quite a pleasant wine, actually. $13. So it's a value wine from Bordeaux. $13. I'm going to call it value right away. It's reasonably balanced. It's got this tart lemon crispness finish to it. Again, this makes me want seafood. I feel like eating some mussels right now, or even some clam or some shellfish or something like that. It's got this bright seafood acidity to it that go really well. The other thing that comes through incredibly on the palate is a savoriness, but all over that is like star fruit. I feel like I just bit into some star fruit. It's got that kind of tart bitterness of star fruit, super just savory. My mouth is watering, craving some salty food, which this would pair really well with. It's got like a savory, almost brininess to it that would go exceptional with, like I said, seafood. Cool. 13 bucks. I appreciate that. I'm going to call that really nice value. I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot of depth of layers or character. There's probably not much ageability to it. Serve it chilled with your friends. Drink it now. A nice wine. I'm going to say like 86 points. Yeah, 86 points. It's a nice wine. I would drink it. 86, 86 and a half. I like it. It's nice. It's good expression of just kind of the simple characteristics of Bordeaux. Second one. This one's from BC. From here again. Growing on the Black Sage Bench. It's from Sumac Ridge. Sumac Ridge is located just outside of like the Penticton area. They're right in Summerland. Big local producer. This is their 2007 Meritage. Again, you got to call Bordeaux outside of Bordeaux Meritage. This is a blend. It's a blend of Sauvignon Blanc. Let's see what they got in here. 80% Sauvignon Blanc and 20% Semillon. Curious about this one. Give my glass a quick rinse here. All right. This one, $25. Very similar in color. Okay, on the nose. Here's something, just a quick thing for you. I watch people sniff wine once in a while, and they'll say, smell that wine. They'll go, yeah, that doesn't do it. You see how deep my nose is in the glass? Sometimes I make the mistake of actually getting it in my nose and I'm pushing it too far, but that's what you want. Anyway, sorry, side note there. Okay, on the nose, this is like sourdough bread. That's the semi I'm coming through. It's like this reminds me of freshly baked sourdough bread, seriously. Freshly baked sourdough bread, it's got this green, like, herbaceousness to it, too. Yeah, but it reminds me of almost like spinach. Yeah, spinach, and I like that. I like the nose on this one. It's quite bright. Yeah, the nose is quite bright. This is a nice wine. Okay. Palate reflects the nose. Coming through, again, it's like I just bit into some fresh sourdough, but you know what this completely reminds me of? Spinach dip. You know, you get the big round ball of sourdough, cut the top off, make the spinach dip inside. This has got like that kind of herbaceous spinach flavor, a little bit of something else savory in there, like some sort of like French onion or something like that. I usually throw in the spinach dip, but anyway, this reminds me of spinach dip. It's got a creamy finish, which I like a lot. It's got a nice creamy finish and kind of a brightness to it. Again, like this nice lemon citrus cleanliness. This again would be a great aperitif, appetizer. I think this is a good wine. It's quite well balanced. Mid palate is probably lacking a little bit, but at the same time, I like it a lot. Serve it chilled. Serve it with spinach dip in a bread bowl. I think it would go over really well. Again, some mineral coming through on this one, but more like kind of fresh spring rain, something like that. Just, yeah, you step outside, spring morning, and you kind of smell this on the concrete, fresh spring rain. That's reminds me of that, yeah. Nice wine, 25 bucks. I don't know if I showed you the label of this one. I'll do that again. There you go, 25 bucks. Better quality than this one, more depth, more layers, more character. Better mouthfeel, excellent length, it keeps going. I'm still tasting it. I'm gonna say, let's go 88.5 points. I think that's reasonable for this one. 88.5 points. I think it's a good wine. I enjoy it. Reasonable price point, 25 bucks, 88.5 points. Could be slightly cheaper, but it's BC. Our prices are all over the place anyway. You know, one thing, check this one. Straight up Sauvignon. Might have missed it, but yeah, it's definitely got that green herbaceousness to it too. Yeah, it's very like grassy, almost kind of like, almost bell pepper, almost green bell pepper or green onion or something like that on this one as well. Typical of Sauvignon Blanc. All right, so we've explored the white wines of Bordeaux. Well, the white dry wines of Bordeaux for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've had a good white wine from Bordeaux. And yeah, here's something. When you guys comment on my episodes, I love it. It's what makes me want to do the show. It makes the website feel alive, like there's life to it. So comment, even if you're just saying hi, that's good enough. I like that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you on the next episode.